Veena's kitchen table. Butter chicken. The name itself is so appetizing. Butter chicken is a beautiful blend of grilled chicken with tomato gravy laced with the goodness of butter and aromatic spices. Today let me share with you my version of butter chicken, which I make at home. I assure you, you will really like it. So let's start cooking. Welcome back, friends. So let's start with the process of making butter chicken. So the first step is to marinate the chicken and then to grill it. So we have 500 grams of chicken here, cut into medium-sized cubes. In the ground spices, I have got 1.5 teaspoons of red chili powder, 1 teaspoon of cumin powder or jeera powder, 1 teaspoon of garam masala, and a pinch of turmeric. I have about 2 teaspoons of lemon juice, 1 teaspoon of ginger garlic paste, and about 2 tablespoons of thick curd, preferably hung curd, which doesn't have much water. So now we are going to marinate our chicken. I'll put the lemon juice, about 2 tablespoons of curd, and the dry spices. With my clean hands, I'm going to rub in the masala. We'll add in about a teaspoon of ginger garlic paste. I'll add a little salt, about a teaspoon of salt, and rub it in nicely. And now I'm going to add about 1 teaspoon of oil. You could use any oil, mustard oil, olive oil, or any oil of your choice except coconut oil. And this we will leave for marinating for about 15 minutes to half an hour. Now for the gravy, these are the ingredients that we need. Here I have 1 medium onion sliced, about 500 grams of tomatoes roughly diced, whole garam masala. I have 2 bay leaves, 1 black cardamom, 3 green cardamoms, 3 cloves, 2 small pieces of cinnamon, and 2 leaves of star anise. I have about a tablespoon of ginger and a tablespoon of garlic. Here we have about half teaspoon of fenugreek or Kasuri Methi, about 10 cashew nuts. I have here a teaspoon of ginger and green chilies. It's about a quarter piece of ginger and 2 green chilies crushed together for tempering. I have fresh cream. In the dry spices, I have about 1.5 teaspoons of Kashmiri red chili powder, half teaspoon of cumin powder, and a small grating of nutmeg. For beginners who do not know what is nutmeg, this is what a nutmeg looks like. This needs to be cracked open, which I can show you. Now this is how it looks. I have cracked open the nutmeg. It's got a shell and the seed is inside. It's a soft seed which you can grate easily, and I've taken a very small portion of grating of nutmeg. This adds to the flavor of the butter chicken. Alright, so now to make our gravy, we keep our pot on the fire and we'll just drop in all our ingredients for the gravy. That is our 500 grams of tomatoes diced, 1 medium onion diced, sliced, all the sabut garam masala, garlic, ginger, and the cashew nuts, and allow it to boil. Our tomatoes and onions have been cooking for a while. We want them to turn soft. You could add a little water if you find that it's going dry, and let it cook well. We leave the pot closed so that that cooks well. In the meantime, our chicken has been marinating for more than half an hour. So we are going to grill our chicken. For that, I am going to use a pan here today. I'll drizzle a little oil in the pan. Once the pot is hot, place the chicken pieces in the pan. Make sure that you do not cover the pan because we want to sear the chicken well. We don't want it to release its juices, then it becomes, anything like boiled chicken. So we want the chicken to sear well. and the juices to remain in. We leave our chicken for 2 minutes without disturbing it, and once one side is done, we turn it over for the other side to be done. In the meanwhile, we just check on the tomatoes. The tomatoes have become soft. After 2 minutes, we can switch off this fire and allow this mixture to cool, because we have to put it in the blender and blend it to a smooth paste. Now it is time to turn our chicken pieces. So while our gravy masala is cooling, I have switched off the fire and it is cooling. We will plate out the chicken that has seared on both sides. I'll add another teaspoon of oil, and I'll add the remaining pieces of chicken as well. I've switched off the flame now, and the mixture is ready to be blended into a fine puree. But make sure to discard the bay leaf and the black cardamom before putting the mixture into the blender. So now we are going to assemble the chicken and the gravy. So for that, we add a little oil, about 1 teaspoon, 1.5 teaspoons of oil, and a little butter, of course. What's butter chicken without butter? So we need to add a little butter. Once the oil and the butter heat up, we will add our ginger and green chilies crushed and give it a good stir. The ginger and the green chilies are well sauteed. We'll put in the red chilies, cumin and the nutmeg. That gives the gravy a good color. You must do it like this before putting in your tomato paste. And now put the gravy, your blended gravy. Tomatoes are going to splutter a little, so be careful. Add a little water and mix it well. At this point, we'll add our salt. We have added salt to the chicken already, so be careful. And to balance the tanginess of the tomatoes, 1/4 teaspoon of sugar. The gravy is sizzling, so we will close it and let the tomatoes cook well and the oil to separate. You can see that the gravy is spluttering and the lid has become quite messy. Lower the fire before you open the pot, otherwise you could get some hot splutters on yourself. At this point, check the consistency of the gravy. If it needs to be a little thinner, we could add a little water. We'll open the pot. Now it's time to drop in the chicken pieces. Our butter chicken is coming out well. The gravy is thickening. We'll leave it to cook for another 5 minutes so that the chicken becomes soft and tender. At this point, we can add in a little more butter. I'm adding in about 1/2 teaspoon of butter. Butter chicken has been cooking and you can see there is a nice shiny glaze over the gravy. Now this is the time we are going to add in some fresh cream. We'll add in about 2 to 3 tablespoons of cooking cream. Please note, it should be cooking cream, not whipping cream. Finally, we'll crush our fenugreek leaves or Kasuri Methi. I give it a nice rub in my palms and spread it over the gravy. And keep the fire on high for 2 minutes. Close the lid and let it sizzle on high for 2 minutes, and then we switch off the fire and keep the lid closed for some time. Now the curry has been sizzling for 2 minutes on high flame and I will switch it off. Now I would like to show you something. It's a very important step in your butter chicken, the final step. This is a piece of charcoal which I will keep on the fire and burn. Here, as you can see, I have taken a square shaped aluminium foil This size would be fine. I'm going to give it a shape of a small katori or a bowl. As you can see, I'm just roughly turning it to make it into a small katori or a bowl. That's fine. I'm holding the piece of coal over the fire till it becomes red hot. I can see the red edges. It might take you some time depending on the coal. Sometimes it burns quite fast. Sometimes it might take some time. The charcoal is turning red at the edges. I have this small aluminium pouch that I have made, into which I'll drop the charcoal, the burning charcoal. This whole process should be done quickly. I'm going to place my aluminium pouch or my small bowl on the surface of the butter chicken. Very carefully I'll take the burning coal and place it into that, and I'll drop half a teaspoon of ghee on the charcoal and close it. I will close all points from where I don't want any of those fumes to come out. This process gives your butter chicken that magical smoky flavor. The chicken straight out of the grill into the tomato gravy, and with this smoked flavor, and your butter chicken is absolutely delicious. After keeping your pot closed for 2 minutes and making sure that the fumes have settled in, you just open it. Yes, it smells lovely. Carefully take out your pouch with the coal in it and discard it, and keep your dish closed for some time. We have dished out our very delicious butter chicken. For the final garnish, just drizzle a little cream. So that's your delicious butter chicken ready for you. I'm sure your families will enjoy it. So let's not wait. Let's start cooking.